Hi, I'm Dave Coach. Let's talk a little bit about town politics and bring some clarity to those that are not familiar. But just as a heads up, this is a longer video, so see the description of the various topics and the timestamps in the video if you want to jump around. By its very nature, politics is polarizing. You have two different belief systems that are competing for local elected positions here in Colchester that believe their way is better. And all the noise that you hear can be quite confusing. It can feel nonsensical and possibly borderline annoying to you. I'm from the millennial generation, so that's about from the age range of 26 to 41. And for me, town politics was confusing, and it's still kind of confusing from time to time. It definitely can be a bit over the top. It can be divisive. It could seem to be clogging up your Facebook newsfeed. However, I'm getting to know the political landscape a little bit more, and I'm starting to better understand how it works and why it's very important. I thought I would share a little bit of what I've come to learn and what I've come to appreciate, and where I think local politics can improve. What you believe in, what you represent, what your ideals are, those are aligned to a political ideology, such as conservatism versus liberalism, which in turn aligns to a particular political party. Conservatism, or a conservative, is a commitment to traditional values, social stability, and prefers gradual development to abrupt change. Liberalism, or a liberal, believe in the value of social and political change in order to achieve progress. Both of those definitions I did get from the Merriam-Webster Dictionary online. When it comes to town elected officials, the point here is to elect people who believe what you believe, so they can best represent you when making town decisions. As a very broad example to party beliefs, if you don't believe in vast gun control, if you believe in smaller government, and if you are more conservative, your thoughts and ideals would most likely align to the Republican Party. On the flip side, if you believe in, for example, stricter gun laws, combating climate change, believing government should take a more active role helping citizens, and you're a little bit more on the liberal side, then you would most likely align to the Democratic Party or the Democrat Party. There are other factors and characteristics for each party, of course, that does encapsulate everything, and you can search Google to find a more robust comparison of the two. Also, there are other political affiliations outside of just Democrats and Republicans, but this video is going to focus on just those two, as those are the most prominent in our town. Your natural beliefs, meaning how you were brought up, what values were instilled in you, and in general, we usually align with one of the political parties based on those beliefs and values. It's no different than a religion, for example. How you were raised, your unique experiences, and how you approach life will generally align you to the attributes and characteristics that make up that religion. Because of that, it's a natural selection of what your faith will be. With some people, that's the lack of faith. It's the same premise with a political party. For Colchester, your vote in political races is a vote for your beliefs. If you want town leadership to represent your beliefs and make decisions based on your beliefs, you need to vote for your party representatives. And this is not like the presidential election where the vote differential is in the millions, where your vote may not make a huge impact. But in Colchester, and specifically the Colchester political races, the difference between your party representatives being elected or not being elected could be a differential of just hundreds of votes, not millions. So in local political races, every vote truly does count and can sway who is elected. There are two main ideologies that I just touched upon a little bit ago: liberalism and conservatism. A liberal stance aligns with the Democratic Party, whereas a conservative stance aligns with the Republican Party. The individuals representing this two-party system to encourage voters to vote for their candidates, and that's what their primary job is to do. The people within the parties are on a sliding scale of political radicalism. You have those that are extreme far left or far right, which means they represent the full ideas of that party and are just unwavering in their political beliefs. Then you have those that are considered moderates, which represent a party but are more on the other side of this scale, not as radical. And although may generally align with one party's beliefs, these people are open and sometimes agree with the other party's ideals, decisions, and approaches. So how do political parties work, and what are the two main tactics that political parties use to try to win the most votes in an election? Number one is what I call the positive party positioning, meaning you build up your own party's reputation, you educate and inform the public about your team's views, your candidate's qualifications, and communicate and position your party as the ideal choice to be voted into office. You do this because you believe those candidates will make the best decisions for properly governing the town. The other tactic is what I coin negative opposition positioning. That is, accentuating your opposing party's negatives, microanalyzing bits and parts of their communication or representation to undermine their credibility, or highlighting the extremes of the assumption, ambiguous situations, or misunderstood circumstances. Or it's just pure nastiness with no or very little evidence to support the insinuations. As with everything, there is a scale of how light or how heavy you go with either a positive party positioning or a negative opposition positioning. Sometimes there are calculated aggression, sometimes the opposing party unintentionally gives the other party a window to go on the offensive. Because an elected official seat is a zero-sum game, there has to be a winner and there has to be a loser. This means for the losing party, your beliefs will not be fully represented to guide town decisions, whereas the winning party will have proper representation to withhold your beliefs to make town decisions. In Colchester, the Board of Selectmen is comprised of 5 people. This board is the governing body of our town and has a mandatory 2 elected Republicans, 2 elected Democrats, with 1 elected first selectman, who could either be a Republican or Democrat. So the Board of Selectmen will either be represented with 3 Republicans and 2 Democrats, as it is now, or 3 Democrats and 2 Republicans, as it was with the last administration. Why that is significant is when it comes to matters pertaining town decisions, it must go through the Board of Selectmen to vote. And as you can tell, the majority of one party on the Board of Selectmen would logically mean decisions would be swayed to that party's ideology and beliefs. I know some of you may not be affiliated with a party or maybe affiliated with a party as a default, but you really didn't choose that party. I was brought up a Dallas Cowboys fan. I didn't necessarily choose to be a Cowboys fan, but I was brainwashed by my brother. So with the Cowboys, I do continue to be a Cowboys fan. So I would say some things never change. I personally support the DTC as a moderate Democrat. In other words, I'm a Democrat, but not a radicalized extreme left-wing Democrat. I am more open to opposing views and see the world in a more objective way. Although I support the DTC as they best align with my beliefs and values, the DTC is not who I am. Should not be myself or anyone on DTC or even RTC should not be stereotyped to the broader lens of that political party or affiliation. So in other words, I don't agree with everything the DTC does. When you join a party, you join because you want your values and beliefs best represented. When you join a party, you too don't have to drink from the Kool-Aid and support 100% of what your party does. You have a choice, you have a voice to speak up on your own behalf. How can local politics be better between parties? It probably goes without saying that there's not a silver bullet here to bring unity and peace amongst the parties. Some would argue that will probably never happen, and they would be right. Not in the fact that people can't come together for the greater good, but rather the political landscape in its very nature is delineated between 2 different parties. When each party decrees their own belief set, what they stand for, and the ideals that they represent, and none of those overlap with the other party's ideals and beliefs, you create a natural divide. What makes sports fun is rooting for your favorite team. If you root for the Yankees and I root for the Red Sox, we can watch the game respectfully together, but at the end of the day, I want my team to win and I want your team to lose, especially the Yankees. With sports, as in local politics, everyone is playing the same game, but you want your team to win. And when you can be an active player in this game, that is when emotions run high, and that is when both respectful and disrespectful actions can take place. So, how can we make local politics work better for both parties? You do that by finding common ground on what you both believe in and leave out those snarky comments that we all like to make. Both parties believe in freedom, equality, the safety of our community, the Constitution, having great education for our children, ensuring town infrastructure is solid, ensuring the elderly population is cared for, and so much more. In general, we can agree on those, but the parties disagree on how to best handle those town needs. It will take an open mind, it will take humility, definitely to work together in determining the best approach for the town, which may not be your party's desired approach. No matter what party affiliation you are with, there is one thing everyone can agree on. We love Colchester, we love the people of Colchester, and we want to see Colchester thrive for many, many years to come. Thank you for watching, and if you have any questions about this video, feel free to reach out. Let's approach each other with curiosity over judgment and kindness over indecency. Thank you for watching.